On today's episode, this little light of mine. Let's see if we can get it to shine. What's up, nerds? This is the Brinkmann Max Million II. Got this at an estate sale yesterday for about $3. I say about because I got a big old armload of junk for $10. Splitting everything up, yeah, about $3. And it looks like it's worth about just that much. As you can probably see, this has a lot of rust on it, the little 12-volt car adapter. Screw's missing, which means somebody's been noodling around in here. Also, it's quite a bit of rust on a little hanger right there, as well as a little axis screw. So this has seen better days. But the lens is relatively clean, and the bulb is it's intact. Now, if it's functional or not, I don't know. That's what we're going to find out today. So let's see if we can get this working, and if it does work, let's see how bright 2 million candle power really is. Doing some research on the whole candle power versus lumens. And by research, I mean, I went to like maybe 3 different AI sites and got pretty much the same result. Candle power is pretty much the measurement of the intensity of the focal beam, or the brightest part of the beam here. And lumens is everything within the whole spread of the light cone. So it's, 2 different things. You're putting it into a formula. 2 million candle power should result in about 2,000 to 3,000 lumens. Now, back in the late 80s, I had the original Q-beam Max Million that claimed to have 1 million candle power, which would have been 1,000 to 1,500 lumens. And that sounds about right. I mean, it was very bright. But nowadays you have these little everyday carry flashlights that claim to have 500 to 1,000 lumens. And while they are bright, lumens is kind of, I guess it's not there are various ways to measure it and things like that. So, you might have something that claims to get, 1,000 lumens and it might only be like 600, 700. It's almost like the RMS output of a audio amplifier. It's sometimes they'll claim 50 watts and it'll really be like 35 or something. There's just a lot of different tests, and it's very subjective to overblown claims. You can say, oh, we have this much and whatever, but it's just all how you measure it and how you present it. And naturally the higher number sounds better to consumers. So that's the way that goes. All right, I've got the rusty screws out of the top and bottom. Let's get this lid off here. It's not too bad. Here's the lens, or actually the protective cover of it. Just the glass part. At least I think it's glass. I mean, if it was plastic, it would probably melt. But yeah, it's dirty, that's for sure. But it's in one piece, and it's not super fogged up or etched. At least I hope it isn't. But we'll check that out. Here's the lens here, and that's really clean and good shape. And I don't know if you can see the bulb. If I can zoom in, maybe. Enhance. The filament is still intact, which is a really good sign, because there's really not much to this. I mean, it's the adapter with probably a 10 amp fuse, maybe 20, because this does draw a lot of power. It goes in here. As you can see, it's nice and clean. It goes through the switch, which is a basic just slider switch, and then into here. So not many parts. So I'm going to, work backwards, test the switch, make sure all of this kind of works. And then I think our main focus is just going to be here, cleaning this up, making sure the fuse is, if there's one in here, if it's not blown, replace it, clean all of this up. Really, that's what really the main thing needs to be done. I hear rattling in there, which is always a good sign. So, yeah, I'm going to test the switch out and crack this guy open, see what happens. Okay, got my trusty meter out. And let me zoom in here real quick so you can see what we're looking at for the switch. We have two contacts in there. You see the ground on the left, hot on the right. Just hit these two contacts, and we should not be shorted out. It should be an open circuit. Let me zoom back out a little bit so you don't stare right into my hands, but I mean, it's all you're really going to see, but you'll see the meter. So put it on both leads, and yeah, nothing. We switch it on, which is right back here, and we should get, yep. So switch is good. I mean, that it's just a switch. It's nothing complicated. So now we're going to move on to troubleshooting, this guy right here. I'm going to crack this guy open and see what horrors lurk within. Okay, gonna screw this tip off. Kind of get a screwdriver in there and pry these shells apart. That's being stubborn. Okay. Oh wow. Yeah. Oh boy. Zoom in on this thing. A little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. Some light in it, maybe. There is a lot of rust. It's just everything about this is horrible. Yeah, this is what's rattling around there. Looks like a little LED, maybe. Looks like it was the indicator, power indicator. That's shot to hell. This little board right here, which was mainly, I just see one resistor. So maybe that was, just for the LED indicator. But yeah, this whole thing is shot to hell. So what I might have to do is spend a little bit more money and, get a new 12-volt fixture. Just run down to O'Reilly's or AutoZone or something like that and get one that's rated for, I don't know, how many watts? I mean, how many amps is this rated at, if I can even see that on the bulb? I mean, on the fuse here. It's rusted on there, and it's smooth as anything. I don't see any amp rating on it. So got to go on the internet, see what the amps were for this, how much this, was drawing at the time by its efficient 12-volt thing. I guess maybe I could hot wire it to my car battery, just cut this off, strip the leads back, tap it to make sure the bulb works. I mean, if not, I could always use a 12-volt adapter. What I don't want to use is some cheapo, car accessory thing that's only rated for like maybe 5 amps, something that you would plug like a cell phone charger. You need something heavy duty. Otherwise, it's going to melt and, it's going to turn your car into an auto flambe if you're not careful. So we'll get the amp specifications and make a trip to AutoZone, or actually O'Reilly's is a little bit closer to me. So yeah, let's go shopping and spend 5 times as much on this as we did on the whole thing. That's par for the course for this channel. It's a few days later. Had to get this guy off of Amazon because no place locally had anything heavy duty, or if they did, it wasn't in stock. So this thing is rated for, I think, 20 amps. It's got a little 20 amp fast blow fuse up top here, and then a 10 amp little fuse in this container here. This one will blow first. It's a lot easier to replace. Hopefully it doesn't draw anywhere near 10 amps, but you never know. It's conveniently nighttime, so I'm going to take this outside. I have to take a little detour when I get out because I kind of live in the flight path of New Orleans International Airport, and they don't take kindly to people spotlighting, landing aircraft and things like that. I can get in a lot of trouble with a lot of different 3-letter agencies. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a little ride a little further out, test it out, and see just how bright this guy is. Come on, let's go. All right, I'm going to give this guy a little test. Can't keep it on too long because I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble for it. here it goes. Yep, look at that. Holy crap. That tower is about 600 feet away. And it's another 300, oh, 300, about 150 to 200 feet high. And this thing was lighting it up like an all-night liquor store. I mean, one more time. It's just, yeah, look at that. Jesus, that is powerful. Yeah, holy crap. So, yeah, there you go. Definitely not a toy to be playing around with. And yeah, certainly nothing you want to shine in traffic or anybody's face. You will do some damage. So that's it for the nighttime test. Final thoughts on this thing? Look, if you can get one for under 25 bucks at a garage sale or a thrift store, go ahead and snag it. I mean, these things really only have 3 failure points: the plug, or sometimes just the fuse in there, the switch, and the bulb. And the bulb, I just checked, you can get those on Amazon still for like 25 bucks. I mean, these things are really, really rugged, built really well. And, they sold for probably upwards of $100 back in the day. So, even at, if you go all in for like 50 or whatever, it's still a pretty good deal. They're really good. And, admittedly, I live out in the suburbs, so it's not very practical for me. It's just kind of fun to have one. But if I lived like out in the country or did a lot of stuff outdoors, yeah, I'd definitely want one of these in my vehicle at all times. Whether you're spotlighting critters or looking for a place to dig a shallow grave, things like that. Yeah, it'd be great to have. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching. I know this is kind of a short video, kind of a dumb little quick fix-it video, but I just thought I'd throw this out there because it's really cool. Anyway, guys, you take it easy.